Got fit in Japan! Yeah, all the time I'm on business. I'm all about my business, but I ain't got no briefcase. Yeah, all I got's some whiskey. Open man the whiskey, bring it to you. Yeah, I'm leaning up against the door, and my feet set to the floor, and the mess I long ago. Yeah, I've been in before. I'm a broken man, needing remedial lands. I'm all about my business. Let me love you till the morning. Let me love you till the morning, yeah.
What's up, faders? Welcome to yet another action-packed episode of Got Faded Japan, and I am your host, Johnny. And as you fine folks know, Got Faded Japan is about, well, two dudes, booze, Japan in the news. Well, it's been about a month now, and I got to change that. I'm just so busy, so lazy. Let's be honest. I'm lazy. I could fix it anytime, but I haven't. But I've been using it for so many years, and it just rings so well. Two dudes, booze, Japan in the news. It's fantastic. But anyway, so now it's time for an update. Okay, speaking of an update, faders, this is episode number 768. And on today's episode, we have so many exciting things for you. On this episode, we have, well, I want to talk a little bit about what's going on in my life and what I've been up to recently, because, I mean, we had the cancer charity and a bunch of other stuff that I just want to talk about very briefly, just so you guys know what's going on. And second, we have a shochu review. Now, I've been doing this podcast since the very beginning, since 2009, and we have never, ever had a shochu review. We've drank shochu on this podcast before several times, but we've never had a shochu review, so I'm honored to give you a shochu review, and I'll discuss that in a little minute. In a little minute. And then, of course, after that, we have the news. And this week we have a lot of crazy, bizarre news that you're going to just love. So please stick around until the very end of the show and listen and watch everything. If you're listening to this podcast on the internet, thank you very much. And if you're watching us on YouTube, thank you very much. And faders, if you really want to support the show, we do have a Patreon. You can go to the Patreon and you can sign up, and it really, really helps us out. It's super awesome. And we have so many wonderful things on the Patreon. We've got behind the scenes, we've got hidden content, we've got photos that are too hot for Instagram and Facebook. We've got this live stream. If you're watching this live stream right now, hello. And this will definitely go up there. I'm going to edit it down, take out some stuff or whatever, and then put that up on the YouTube. So definitely go to the Patreon. And I mean, if you want to sign up for the Patreon just for 1 month, and then just like bug off or whatever. I was going to say the effort. I'm trying to keep this more adult without saying F-bombs here, there, and the other where. But yeah. So if you want to sign up for a little bit and then just, sign off, that's totally cool too. Anything helps. It's super cool. Thank you so much. And when you do sign up for the Patreon, it does give me the opportunity to buy booze and do reviews like I'm doing today. So all you guys out there that sign up for the Patreon, this is for you. Thank you. All right. Without further ado, let's begin. Faders, let's see here. Last week we had Pee-wee's fundraiser, his fundraiser for his cancer treatment. Now, as many of you guys know, Pee-wee's been on the show several times. He's the owner and main bartender of Gamuso, who is one of our sponsors and a bar that I've been going to for well over a decade, maybe a decade and a half at this point. And so he's got a very rare cancer in his head, which is in between his brain and his eye. And so he's getting radiation in his left eye. And I guess these treatments are very expensive, even in Japan. And so we recently had a fundraiser. Me and my friend Tom, we organized this massive fundraiser for Pee Wee, and we had it at the seventh floor. And if you're watching this on YouTube, not the stream right now, but in the future, you're going to see. I'll put some videos right here so you can check it out. But we had it at the venue in Shibuya, seventh floor, which is a fantastic nightclub. It's very large. It's got an incredible sound system. If you're in Tokyo, definitely check it out. They got lots of DJ events and band events and comedy events and art events. They do everything. They're absolutely spectacular. And so we had that place last Saturday, and we had, I think it was 7 or 8 bands, plus a DJ, plus live painting by yours truly. And it was unbelievable. So many people came. The place was absolutely packed. The bands were spot on. We had a raffle where we raffled off a date with Sadie, was a good friend of the show. We raffled off vintage whiskey, artwork by Ponzi, and 50 drink tickets from Gamuso. And the raffle was spectacular. And we made a lot of money for Pee Wee. And every single yen, every single penny, every single monetary unit that we got went directly to Pee Wee, and all that money went directly to his medical bills. So thank you everyone that's supported Pee Wee and supported us by going to the not the Patreon, but it was to his PayPal account. PayPal. Who does PayPal? But anyway, to his PayPal account, a couple of you guys like donated some money. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. At least we think so. Thank you so much. So many people donated money. I don't know who donated what. It's none of my business. I didn't see it. The event was absolutely spectacular. And for you guys to actually support, and I know like a lot of you guys that are living in Japan are watching this, and like listening. Hey, monkey. And yeah, thank you so much. It was awesome. So that's what I did last Saturday, and that was one hell of a night. Oh my God. It was like the whole city was there. All the old school guys, all the new school guys were there and stuff, and it was absolutely spectacular. It was so much fun. It was probably the funnest fundraiser I've ever been to. Not saying that I've been to many fundraisers or even organized many fundraisers, but that fundraiser was actually a lot of fun. It was so great. And I want to thank everybody that bought me a drink. I want to thank everybody that bought me shots. Oh my goodness. I remember the fundraiser perfectly. I remember the after party at the bar down the street, Mermaid, I think. And then I remember vaguely, this is where the night gets fuzzy, the yakitori izakaya that we went to after that. And do I remember getting home? Kind of. But I don't think many people remember getting home because, I mean, all the old school guys, the Gamuso guys, all those guys are 110% faders. Everybody drinks. They drink a lot. And that's what we did during this fundraiser. But once again, thank you. Thank you to everyone that supported. Thank you so much. It really means a lot to me, to the show, and of course to Pee Wee and to his family. And hopefully this cancer, he kicks its butt and he recovers smoothly and swiftly, and he'll be back at the bar soon. I think he's at the bar still. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how that's going. But anyway, let's just hope that everything turns out pretty good. And that's basically been about it. I did that, other small little events, and oh yeah, geez. If you're planning to come to Japan to see the cherry blossoms, please do. The cherry blossoms will be here from the end of March to the beginning of April. And on April 7th to the 13th, I'll be organizing and curating Tokyo Art Tank Volume 13. So if you're in the Japan area, please come down to Tokyo and experience Tokyo Art Tank Volume 13. We're going to launch promotions today, and we're going to get the word out to the city, to the country, to the continent, to the world that Tokyo Art Tank is here once again. And I'm very excited about this Tokyo Art Tank. We're going to have 35 artists that are Tokyo-based artists. And our artists are ranging from sculpture artists, popsicle artists, yourself, myself, and we have fine artists, we have photographers, and we have video game artists. We're going to have a video game section where we're going to have like video games and video game art and all sorts of other stuff. It's going to be absolutely spectacular. And once again, Tokyo Art Tank, on every single day of the week, we're going to have a very cool activity. For example, on Monday, we've got a meet and greet with the artists, which is going to be kind of like a cocktail party. And on Tuesday, Tuesday, we have yoga classes, yoga and art classes in the evening. If you want to come and check out some artwork and do yoga with a yoga master, that would be fantastic. And then on Wednesday, we have our very, very, very beloved Indie Film Festival. And our film festival is going to be absolutely amazing because we have 6 local filmmakers who have made films about Tokyo. It is going to be super cool. We've got some stuff that's a little bit explicit, and we got some stuff that's pretty wild. So definitely check that out. On Thursday, we've got the Drunken Poets, and they're going to be up and they're going to be giving poetry readings, and it's an open mic. If you're a poet, you can like read poetry too. On Friday, we're going to have, I think, 3 acoustic punk rock bands and a punk rock, jazz, and rock bands perform. And then on Saturday, we've got Anthony H's hip hop band, and they're going to perform. It's called, I think it's called In the Skin Collective. Oh, no, Skin Deep Collective. Oh, no, he's going to kill me. He's going to kill me. Oh, my God. But Anthony H's band is going to perform, and they are amazing. I love his band, so definitely check that out. And we're going to have 4 DJs performing, and everybody that's going to be performing and doing all this stuff is Tokyo locals. So definitely come on down. And oh, did I mention everything is free? So if you want to participate and enjoy any of the activities that I just said, come on down. It's all free. We're trying to build a community of open-minded artists that want to just showcase their art and help the community grow. That's what we're doing. So come on down and enjoy it, and definitely buy some merchandise. Support the artists. Okay, that's not free. All right. Whew. Wow. My life is pretty busy. Wow. But you know what, Faders? After a long day of working hard and meetings and calling people and sending countless emails that are never going to be replied to, I come home and the one thing I like to do is chill. And how do I chill? I like to have a couple of drinks and watch a little YouTube or Netflix or whatnot. Recently, Disney Plus. But yeah, I like to chill. And what I've been drinking recently is shochu. Shochu is now my go-to drink after beer and after gin and tonics. It's like my go-to drink number 3. Beer, gin and tonics, shochu. Shochu is absolutely spectacular. And shochu is super available all over Japan. Wherever you go in Japan, you can get yourself a shochu. Now, what I'm going to do now is basically going to be a shochu review. Now, for this episode, Faders, I have 3 bottles of beautiful shochu. This stuff is the cat's meow. Wow. And so I've actually taken notes right here. So I've got notes that I'm going to go through so you can learn a little bit about shochu and learn about 3 beautiful bottles of shochu, okay? And so if you're in Japan, you know what to buy and how to order shochu. Or if you're coming to Japan, you know where to go from once you get off the airplane, all right? So first off, okay, let's see. Let me introduce the shochu that I have today. The first shochu that I have right here, it's called Gyokuro. Gyokuro is this bottle right here. And this bottle is a bottle that I've already opened because I've been drinking this kind of shochu for a while. Now, this kind of shochu right here is called, let's see here, it's called Imo Shochu, and it's from Kagoshima. Imo Shochu is a very, very, very beautiful shochu, and it's made with Japanese sweet potatoes. And this is called Imo Shochu, and this is the one we're going to review first. And I opened it last night because I drink this stuff all the time. I love it. Now, these 2 other bottles I have never had before in my life. I've never had before. And I got these bottles. I got all 3 bottles from my local liquor store right down the street. And these guys, they know everything about shochu and chuhai and sake or nihonshu and beer. And basically, I go there and I ask them questions and I pick their brains and they hook me up. And so they recommended these 2 bottles. They said, Johnny, you're going to love this one and this one. If you're going to do a little podcast thing, whatever, where you talk about shochu, please do this one and this one. Trust me, you're going to be happy. And I said, all right, I'll do it. So next, what we have here is some Mugi Shochu. And this Mugi Shochu right here is called MugiKon. MugiKon. And MugiKon, the stuff right here, is from Fukuoka. And Fukuoka and Kagoshima, they're both in the big island on the west side of Japan that's called Kyushu. Kyushu Island. But here we go. It's a beautiful label, a beautiful label. And mugi is actually made from barley. So this is made from barley. And the cool thing about shochu is there are hundreds of different kinds of shochus made with hundreds of different kinds of ingredients, right? So there's like, I mean, there's three main shochus, right? And the first one was Imo, sweet potato. This one here is Mugi, which is made from barley. And actually, the third one is not this one that I have here today. The third one is a very interesting one, and it's called, the third one is called, because of the case, slips my mind. Kome. Gosh. Atama mashiro ryo. Gomenasai. My mind is blank. I'm sorry. I've got too much to talk about. And that one is called kome, and kome is made from rice. Now, I don't have rice here today because I want to do a special episode where I review rice shochus. Because rice shochus were the first shochus that were made in Japan. They first started off with shochu made from rice, and then after that, it was party time. They were distilling everything and anything to make shochu. Sweet potatoes, seaweed, pretty much barley. I mean, anything they could get their hands on. They're like, let's try this, let's try this, let's try this. And that's what makes shochu very special, because shochu's been made with so many different things over the last 500 years. Yes, shochu is 500 years old, give or take. And the thing is, though, after 500 years of experimenting, we, right now, this generation of what we're living in, is basically enjoying the best of the best. Maybe they tried something that didn't taste good, like, oh, sushi, bad idea, sashimi, you know. But then they went through all these, I guess, trials, and then here we are today with like the best of the best shochu. And I am honored to be here with you and enjoy this shochu and tell you all about it. I bet you wish you were here. I wish you were here with me. Wouldn't that be cool? We'd all be drinking shochu together. Oh my goodness. Okay. Okay, oh yes, and the shochu, the third bottle of shochu that I have right here is a very, very special bottle of shochu. The guy that sold this to me, he's like, Johnny, you're gonna love this one. This one's amazing. And I'm like, why? He's like, because this one is made with brown sugar. And I'm like, just like the Rolling Stones song? He's like, yes, just like the Rolling Stones song. You're going to love it. And I'm like, is this kind of like a novelty thing or something? He's like, no. People in Kyushu live to be well over 100 years old, and they drink this stuff every single day. And they call it the drink of life. So you should definitely try this one on your little show. And I was like, all right, it's not that little, but thank you. Thank you for the opportunity. And I'm definitely going to review this. And this one right here, believe it or not, is called Asahi. It has nothing to do with Asahi, the company. It's just called Asahi. And let's see, brown sugar shochu is actually called Kokuto. So yes, this one right here. And actually, you know what? Why not? I'm going to open this bag just to see what the bottle looks like. So if you're listening to this, Faders, definitely check us out on YouTube so you can see what I'm opening up. Here we go. Ooh, cool. Oh, wow. The paper's got a nice texture to it. It's really cool. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Dun, 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 dun. What? Oh, wow. Oh, there's the label. Okay, it's right here. It's very small. Oh my gosh, what a small little label. Look at that. Isn't that adorable? It looks generic, but it's not generic. The kind of cool thing about shochu is you've got main shochu companies like Ichiko, right? Which is a Mugi Shochu. And you can get that anywhere. You can get that at 7-Eleven, Family Mart, any convenience store in like the country, and you can get it on Amazon. And yeah, it's a good shochu. It's a really good shochu. But I kind of prefer like these shochus from these small little shochu distilleries, right? And I think they're more cool, and I think they actually have like more flavor, you know, and there's more love when they make them, you know. So these right here, seeing this little like label that looks slightly generic, actually is kind of cool, because I think the company that made this actually spent more money making the shochu and less time and money and energy worrying about making the whatchamacallit, the labels. All right, very cool. So these are the 3 bottles of shochu which I'm going to review. Now, let's talk a little bit about shochu, okay? All right, so first off, what is shochu? Shochu is a 500-year-old spirit. And it's dominantly made with sweet potatoes, which is Imo. It's made with barley, which is Mugi, and then rice, which is Kome. Okay. And like I said, I'm going to review Kome later in another episode of Got Fit in Japan where I'm going to like just focus on that because that is the original shochu. Now, some people call shochu Japanese vodka, and that's incorrect. Vodka it's similar, but it's very different. Now, in Japan, they use what is it? It's a bacteria. Is it bacteria? It's a mold. No. Yeah, it's a mold that they call koji. And this mold is a very special mold that is found in Japan, and they use it in every single batch of shochu. That's what makes shochu a very unique spirit. And they use that not in the distillation process, but in the fermentation process, right? And it has a very interesting texture and smell, and that's what gives shochu the magic. And some people think the koji is what makes people live longer and happier lives. So when you drink shochu, you're getting a little bit of that koji magic in your body, you know? And we're going to have a lot of magic in our body by the end of this episode. All right. So that is basically what shochu is. It's a spirit that's from Japan that's made with koji, and then after that, many other things. For example, sweet potato and so on. Okay, okay. Some people think that shochu is sake. No, it is not a sake. Actually, no. Actually, you know what? Wait. Let me take that back. Shochu is a sake because sake means alcohol in Japan. So when you go to a bar and you say, "Give me a sake," it's like going to a bar in America and saying, "Hey, give me alcohol." But in Japan, sake, what you think sake is actually called nihonshu. And nihonshu is actually made very similar to beer. And it's made with rice, which is fermented. And then, they make nihonshu, aka sake. And it does not go through the distillation process, which shochu goes through. Okay. So yes, so it's not sake and it's not Japanese vodka. Japanese vodka is something completely different. And to be honest, I'm going to say Japanese gin is quite amazing. Japanese gin is spectacular. I love Japanese gin. If you ever can get your hands on Japanese gin, do it. But shochu is not Japanese gin, not at all. Completely different. Okay, let's see. Japanese shochu is made all over Japan. It particularly started in Kyushu, and they don't know why. They think probably traders came to Kyushu. A lot of Dutch traders came in from Fukuoka and Kawasaki, and so they think maybe they came in and they taught like Japanese people way back in the day how to distill alcohol. And so the people of Japan at that time are just like, well, we got Nihonshu, why don't we distill this and see what happens? And they did, and I think that's how like shochu originally started. Thank you, Dutch people. Okay, let's see, shochu fun facts. Oh yes, okay, the fun facts of shochu before we start drinking. Okay, shochu in Japan is not extremely, it's relatively affordable because this bottle of shochu right here, this bottle of shochu is absolutely beautiful. It's an amazing shochu. It is spectacular. And this bottle right here only cost me 1,200 yen, which is like $6 American, right? Unbelievably cheap. Unbelievably cheap. If I was the president of this company and if I made a drink this delicious, I would basically sell this for maybe 3,000 yen, about like maybe 20 bucks, $30 equivalent in Japan. So like 3,000 yen. Absolutely. Hands down, because it is so amazing. It blows my mind how extremely cheap shochu is in Japan. It is crazy. I got this bottle, this beautiful bottle right here, and brown sugar over here. Brown sugar. I got all three of these bottles for under 4,000 yen. For under 4,000 yen. I got 3 bottles of probably some of the best shochu that liquor store has for next to nothing. That's like 20 bucks American or something. Euros, it's like 5 euros. It's crazy how cheap it is. Why is it so cheap in Japan? I think it might be a tax thing. Maybe they're not taxed as much as Nihonshu or beer. And it might be something like that, or possibly the popularity of shochu has kind of been going down in recent years. The new generation of kids do not like to drink or smoke cigarettes. I don't know why, but the younger generation doesn't really kind of like party as much as like the older generation does. So that might be an issue. speaking of partying with shochu, when I first came to Japan, it like was it in 2002, it was very common to go to an izakaya and have two or three beers. And after two or three beers, you switch to shochu. So you drink fast, you drink with your homies, and then you slow down a little bit and you have conversations and you hang out and you eat some food. And that was just the way Japanese people, at least salarymen, businessmen, actually drank back in the day. And yeah, and wow. And that's actually one of the reasons why I'm doing this podcast and reviewing shochu is because I want to bring shochu back. I want the world to know that shochu is a very, very beautiful and extremely delicious and highly unique drink that's here in Japan that you probably can get at Japanese restaurants or so on, like in your country or wherever you're from. But the thing is, it's just like I want you guys to try some of this stuff. I want you guys to enjoy some of this stuff over here. And I definitely want to drink this with you. Okay. So yeah, we're going to do this together. So yeah, shochu is extremely affordable. And the ABV is about 25 to 35, which is pretty strong. It's pretty strong. Let's see here. Cocktails with shochu. Okay. Cocktails with shochu. I'm going to be honest. I'm not really a big fan of shochu cocktails. Okay. The only ways I drink shochu is neat, on the rocks, and sometimes with oolong tea. And oolong tea, if you don't know, is a Chinese tea. For me, these are my favorite ways on how to enjoy the drink. But for some of you guys out there, if you want to experiment, if you want to mess around and mix it with, like, I don't know, with whatever you want, like juices, enjoy it, in my opinion, I think alcohol and cigars and cars and many other things is just like if you enjoy it, just enjoy it. If you enjoy Budweiser and Swisher Sweets, if you enjoy that, that's fantastic. I support you. If you enjoy driving a Ford, that's great. I support you. If you enjoy drinking the high class like 3,000 yen IPA, that's fantastic. I support you. As long as you're enjoying yourself and you're enjoying your alcohol, you can do whatever you want. I'm not a snob. I'm not a hater. I'm just a guy that likes to drink and enjoy this stuff. And if I'm at a bar and I'm drinking my shochu, my beautiful Imo Shochu right here, if I'm drinking it neat and you show up and you mix some apple juice with it, that's totally cool. I'm totally fine with that. I'll give you a kampai and we'll have a conversation. Cool, right? Actually, after doing a little bit of research and talking to people, apparently in New York and in Los Angeles, there's some bartenders out there doing some crazy stuff with shochu. I heard that, what was it? It was they mix like shochu with 7 Up and they call it like a Japanese champagne or something. That's crazy. Google that. Google that. See if that's real. I don't know. Like it's pretty amazing what they're doing. And amazing kind of in a bad, but if they are enjoying themselves, it's cool. Oh man. But yeah, all alcohols get mixed one way or another eventually anyway, gosh, look at wine. Ugh. Mm. By the way, this is coffee. I've been writing this on drinking coffee all morning. Oh my gosh, I've had way too much coffee. Okay, without further ado, faders, let's begin. Now, I've already opened this bottle of Imo Shochu, and once again, it's called Gyokuro Shochu. It's a fantastic shochu, and it's from Kagoshima. Kagoshima is a beautiful part of Kyushu. I've been there. Oh, I went there last year. I worked at a nightclub. Actually, it was like kind of a music festival where I painted a black light portrait, and which turned out fantastic. And I really, really enjoyed my time in Kagoshima. The people at Kagoshima were so sweet, so friendly, so nice. The weather was absolutely amazing. The food was spectacular. It was so delicious. Kagoshima has a tonkotsu, which is basically like it's pork. It's like was it deep fried pork? I think it's deep fried pork. And oh my gosh, thick, juicy, tender, and just mouth-watering, amazing. It was so great. And the shochu was incredible. Actually, after the music festival, me and some of my friends, a bunch of punk rockers, we went to this izakaya, which is like a Japanese pub, and we went there and they had a nomi hodai for beer and shochu. And which is absolutely incredible. I mean, and it was affordable. It was like I think it was 2000 yen all you could drink for 2 hours, which is just way too cheap and way too long for me and my friends. I mean, I was there with dudes with like that were dressed like clowns with mohawks with like this tattoos all over their bodies and stuff. I mean, it was absolutely insane, and we had a blast. We had an absolute blast. But they had shochu bottles all lined up that were upside down, and they had a little pressure gauge. So you just walk up there and you take your cup and you put your cup underneath the bottle gauge, the pressure gauge, and then the shochu just go and pour up, and you just could fill up as much shochu as you wanted. And after about 4 or 5 glasses, oh my goodness, it was pretty amazing. But here we go. So this is the first shochu from beautiful Kagoshima, and I've got so much more to talk about regarding Kagoshima, but that's for another podcast. Let me see. Somebody sent me a message right here. Stephen Bull. Do y'all drink that cold? Okay, great, great, great. Okay, so we got somebody that's sending us a message on YouTube. Okay, yes, these are actually, it's cold here. My apartment's freezing cold. I've had the heater turned off for a while, and my heater barely works, by the way. But anyway, yeah, this is actually pretty cold. I'm not going to drink it with ice. I'm going to drink it neat just so I get the full flavor. I was drinking this pretty much most of last night. I drank half the bottle. So anyway, here we go. There we go. Now, if you notice, this Imo Shochu is clear. It's very clear. It's just like water, right? It looks exactly like water, but it is not water. Okay, lacy, not really lacy. So it's not like wine. It doesn't have those qualities or characteristics. But I'll tell you what, one thing about Imo Shochu, a good Imo Shochu has a very strong scent, and it has its own special particular scent that's hard to place. And it doesn't smell like sweet potato. I mean, mildly, I guess, but I don't know. It's got a very heavy, musky, and a slightly sweet kind of scent to it. At least this one does. This one does right here. All right, here we go. You can smell the alcohol. You can definitely smell the alcohol. Mm. Oof. This one's got to burn. It's got to burn. It hits the back of your throat and it burns. Slightly like rubbing alcohol, but not in a bad way. I like strong alcohol, so for me, this is fantastic. And then once you get that burn, boom, the taste kind of kicks in and it just kind of soothes your palate, right? And you're just like, aftertaste is great. If you like Imo Shochu, I highly recommend for you to try this out. This stuff right here is absolutely spectacular. And let's see, it's really good, really good. Oof. Oh my God, this is really good stuff. Really fantastic. And the second drink, I still feel a burn in the back of my throat, but it's not a bad burn. It's not like, chili peppers or anything like that. It's just kind of like a little bit of a burn. You can definitely feel that there's alcohol in there. And how much alcohol is in this bottle? I'm wearing my wrong glasses. What does it say? Okay. Oh, is that it right there? 25. It's 25% alcohol in this bottle right here. And yeah, take a screenshot. If you're watching this, try to find this. This is absolutely amazing. It's got a cool little label on it too. It looks like it's a spring. I believe that's supposed to be cherry blossoms right here, sakura. And then the big red circle obviously means the sun. And then you've got the name of the company right here. It's really cool. Very cool. Let me get that closer right there so you guys can check this out. Nice. Very, very, very nice. And this is a great shochu. You could drink this shochu all day. Mm. Oh my goodness. So I've got a feeling, faders, that I might get a little tipsy before I start reading this week's news, okay? So if I mispronounce anything or anything like that, oh, so be it. I'm sorry. Oh gosh. Mm. I don't want to drink shochu this fast, but I filled it up too high and I want to get to the next one. Oh my gosh, but this is good. Woof, woof. And oh, that's another thing about shochu. Okay. You're not supposed to chug shochu. Don't do shochu bombs, shochu shots, or anything like that. Do not do that. All right. Shochu is like whiskey, good whiskey. It's a sipping drink, especially when you get stuff like this. You get some in your glass. Maybe you put in some rocks, or you just drink it neat, and you just sip on it, and you have a conversation with your homies. Right. That's what you do. Okay. Doing like Nihon sake shots or sake bombs and Nihonshu bombs. No, 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 no. Don't do that. That's what tourists do. Okay. Like when you get a bottle of this stuff right here, ooh, you enjoy it. Okay. You take your time with this. It's like making love, right? You just take your time and you just enjoy the ride, right? Here we go. Still smells amazing. Still smells great. Yeah, one thing is shochu, you do not have to refrigerate it. What you can do is like once you open it, you just put the cap back on. You can leave it out. I recommend not keeping it in sunlight or anything like that, but yeah, it's pretty versatile. I like to keep in the fridge though. I like my drinks cold, you know? And most people in Japan drink it with ice, but some people do drink it neat. I enjoy drinking it neat, especially in the wintertime. And in the summertime, when it's really, really, really hot, everybody drinks their shochu with rocks, okay? I mean, it would be, I don't know if it would change the taste. It might. Sometimes taste changes when in the different climates and stuff, especially if you have your alcohol that's been open for a while. Am I getting more names? Da, da, da. What do you smell? Okay, what do I smell? Ah, it smells like Imo Shochu, man. Do you mix that with anything? I'm answering questions. But is it like tequila? It's not like tequila. Shochu is shochu. It's like vodka and gin are very similar, but they're very, very, very different regarding taste. Shochu is because it's clear, it's kind of in that category, but it's very, very different. Shochu is shochu, you know? I mean, God, describe the sun to a blind person. You know, it's really tough. I don't have the vocabulary for it. I've been living in Japan for over 20 was it 25 years now? Jeez, for a long time, for over half my life, I've been living in Japan. My vocabulary is kind of limited. All right. Mm. Oh my goodness, that was fantastic. You know what? If I use the same glass, it's going to be an injustice. So I'm going to take like a short little break and run to the fridge. Ugh, I'm going to go to the kitchen and I'm going to get myself a glass that's fresh because Imo Shochu is so potent. I mean, the smell is very, very, very strong that I think if I put Mugi or anything else in there, it's going to contaminate it. So just give me two shakes of a lamb's ass and I'll be right back. All right, fantastic, faders. I am back. Back in black, like Heart Attack. All right. I got two glasses for our two other shochu reviews. Okay, so that was Imo Shochu, and that Imo Shochu was amazing. Once again, that was only 1,200 yen for that bottle. And that bottle, this bottle right here is going to last me. Well, I mean, last night I kind of had a party here, so it didn't last. I mean, this bottle generally would last me about a week, maybe 2 weeks, depending on how busy I am or whatnot. But yes, and another thing about shochu is because it's so cheap, it's like the perfect present. If you come to Japan on vacation and you're like here and you're like, oh man, I don't want to spend too much money on presents, but I want to get my family or friends something really good. Shochu is what you got to do because 1,200 yen, dude, that's crazy cheap. Nihonshu, aka sake, is quite expensive. You know, you can get the cheap stuff, but the cheap stuff's like, ugh, it's gross. It's got tons of chemicals in it. It's not good, right? But the expensive stuff is really expensive. You can spend an arm and a leg on Nihonshu. Shochu, however, you know, I mean, this right here is brilliant. This is absolutely brilliant. And anybody who enjoys drinking would absolutely die to sample this. So if you're here, if you're coming here and you get this, dude, best present ever. Best present ever. This is like five birthdays all in one right here. Boom. and what 1,200 yen in American money is like $6. It's ridiculous how this world is. Is this the Twilight Zone? What is going on? Okay, moving on to I want to do Mugi. Yes, Mugi. And I've never had this one before. This is a brand new Mugi for me. It's got a beautiful label. Look at this label right here. Let me just hold it up to the camera. Look at that. Isn't that cool? That is so cool. Very cool. All right. And the name of this Mugi is MugiKon. MugiKon. Okay. I know about 80 to 100 kanjis, and I don't know these. Okay. And this alcohol content is 30. So this is 30 proof right here, or 30%. And I'm going to open it up right now. Oh, MugiKon. And MugiKon is from Fukuoka, which is also on Kyushu Island. Okay. New cup. Let's pour this in. Ooh. Okay. There we go. So I got about, oh geez, this is about a shot. I told myself I'm not going to get drunk while I do this review, but it may just happen. Oh my gosh. All right, so check it out. So here's what it looks like up close. It looks just like water. It's got the characteristics of water. Fire water, that is. Okay, here we go. All right, I'm going to give it a smell. Whoa. My God. This is, it smells like not cinnamon cookies, but kind of like yeah, kind of smells like gingerbread cookies without cinnamon. Wow. Wow, it's very, very different from Imo Shochu. Oh my gosh, Mugi Shochu. Here we go. Wow. Okay. This is an incredible drink. This is an incredible drink. Once again, it burns the back of my throat just a little bit, which is a good thing. You want your alcohol to be strong. Do not get cheap alcohol. Um, this stuff is just so unique. I don't know why I'm getting like this slight gingerbread man taste to it, you know? Huh, I've got gingerbread man in my mouth. Ugh, I'm so stupid. Oh my God. The guys at the liquor store were right. This stuff's incredible. I don't know how to explain it. It's a completely different drink. I can tell that it's shochu just because it has that kind of like that kind of like shochu taste to it, but it's just so much more complex than that, and completely different from Imo Shochu. I mean, these it's like night and day, to be honest. Oh my goodness, this is really amazing. Wow. And once again, this is a drink that you do not chug. This is a sipping drink, okay? This is not a beer. It's not a cheap wine. This right here is a very, very amazing drink. And this drink right here, I think this costs like maybe 1,300 yen. So in American money, $6.50. Unbelievably affordable. This drink is unbelievable. I can't believe it's that cheap. I really can't believe it's that cheap. I think shochu, it must have been more expensive back in the day because it's ridiculous how cheap it is. My goodness, it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Let me just put this up to the camera one more time, just so you can take a look at it. Take a screenshot. And yeah, this one's called MugiKon, and it's from Fukuoka. Very, very, very beautiful, beautiful Mugi Shochu. I'm more of an emo shochu kind of guy. I kind of like that musky smell and taste to it. But this one right here is very, very interesting. That God, maybe it does have kind of a slight cinnamon taste to it. I can definitely taste sugars. It is more sweet than emo shochu. Emo shochu is generally more dry. This one right here, at least this Mugi Shochu is slightly sweet. Great aftertaste. Oh my gosh, it's great. Fantastic. This would be the best 13 or 1,300 yen that you've ever spent. Oh my gosh. This run right here, I highly recommend. I highly recommend. Wow. I can drink Imo Shochu all night. I'm not sure if I could drink this one all night. If I was at like a nice bar, I'm hanging out with like maybe two or three friends and we're just, talking about good times or whatnot, I would get one of these. I would get one of these just because the taste is so unique. But I don't think I would enjoy this taste all night, you know? It's like a pina colada. All you need is one, but it's a really nice drink. This is a really good one. Wow. I'm going to put that there. And now I'm going to move forward to the brown sugar shochu. Okay, the brown sugar shochu. And once again, the brown sugar shochu is from Kagoshima, one of my new favorite parts of Japan. And this one is, brown sugar is called Kokuto. Kokuto. Okay, and that is this bottle right here. Okay. And once again, the name of this company is Asahi, but it's not affiliated with Asahi Super Dry or the Asahi Company. It's just Asahi. So generic. It kind of grew on me, the generic look to it. You're just like, yeah, Asahi. I dig it. I dig this stuff. I'm really excited to drink this one. I've never had, from my recollection, I've never had brown sugar shochu. So this is going to be really, really spectacular. This is a treat for all of us. Here we go. Oh my gosh. Okay, new cup. Get that water get out of there, water. Ooh, blast you, water. Hello, shochu. Hey, here we go. Yeah, right there. That's about a shot and a half. Oh my goodness. I wish you guys were here with me right now. See, am I getting more questions before I hit this? Okay, just enough scotch. There's a label, looks like colors. Well, what are you drinking now? Is it schnapps? Ah, I'm not drinking schnapps. Schnapps. I do like schnapps though. Schnapps are fantastic. Um, yeah, so here we go. Let me just move this up. All right. Now notice that all three shochus have the same visual characteristic. They're clear and they have no real retention on the walls of the glass. In fact, um, if you were walking down the street drinking this, 99.9% of the people would think that this is water. They think you're just drinking a glass of delicious water. But yeah, it looks just like water. And here we go. Let's give it a smell. Wow. A very delicate, light smell. Almost like a sweet bread smell. It's got this slight sweet bread smell. Now, comparing this to Imo Shochu, you could smell it when the glass is like this far away. For this brown sugar, once again, brown sugar is called Kokuto. For the Kokuto Shochu, you really got to put your snout deep in there and pull in the essence of its beauty. All right, I'm gonna give it a go. Wow. Wow. That tastes like chocolate cake. Oh my gosh. It tastes, even though it looks super clear, it tastes kind of grainy. It doesn't burn the back of my throat. Wow, this is real. Oh my goodness. This is an absolute, this is a surprise. It tastes kind of like chocolate cake. It's kind of got this chocolate cakey kind of taste to it, I guess. Not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. But it tastes like a heavy chocolate cake. I don't know what kind of brown sugar they use to make this. I guess I should have researched that before doing the review. But what does it say right here? Let's see. No, it is 25% alcohol. So that's probably why it doesn't burn the back of my throat, but it's very enjoyable. Great aftertaste. Almost kind of like it's got this weird raisin aftertaste. It's pretty amazing. It's pretty amazing stuff. Oh my goodness. Now, to each their own, to each their own. Um, I think for me, I wouldn't want to drink this all night long. Maybe you would. I'm more of an Imo Shochu kind of guy. I can drink Imo Shochu all night, no problem, right? This stuff right here, I think it's kind of like I'll have one glass, I'll enjoy it, and I'll probably take me a while to drink a glass, even like this big, like maybe like 20 minutes, 30 minutes or so. I'd sip on it and talk and sip on it and talk and stuff. And but it's a really, really beautiful shochu to say the least, though. Could I have two? I could have two of these. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. Actually, you know what I like to do? I like to put some water in this and then some water in the mugi and kind of just open it up a little bit and just see how the flavor kind of unfolds, you know? Usually I don't do that. I usually put ice in and I let the ice slowly melt and open up the shochu or the spirit. But because we're running short on time. All right, water may be the way to go. But this is good stuff. This is really good stuff. This is absolutely fantastic. Okay, once again, I'm going to show you guys the bottles, just in case if you're watching this for the first time or starting watching it now. We are live on YouTube. I was going to do Twitch, but Twitch wouldn't let me sign in. Okay, so this one right here is the brown sugar, and it's called the Kokuto, which means brown sugar, and it's by a company called Asahi, not Asahi the company, but this company is called Asahi, and it's from Kagoshima. Here you go. Take a screenshot if you like this. If you want to get this right here, I think it's pretty fantastic. The kanji is really small. Let me just move it up a little bit closer for you guys. There you go. There you go. Screenshot that. Boom. All right, cool. This stuff's amazing. Okay, before this, I was drinking the mugi, which is very interesting. It had a gingerbread kind of taste to it, very strong and very delicious. And this mugi is MugiKon from Fukuoka. I'm going to put this up right here. If you guys are watching right now, definitely take a screenshot of this stuff right here. It is fantastic. Boom. And once again, I bought all three of these bottles for under 4,000 yen. So if you're in Japan on a budget and you really want to get something nice for your family and friends, shochu is definitely the thing for you. And another thing about shochu, which is really cool, is I mean, you can have shochu adventures. You can go to shochu distilleries. I mean, granted, you may need a translator to translate everything, but you can go to the distilleries and go on tours, you know? And that's a brilliant idea. It's a once in a lifetime activity that you can do, and I highly recommend it. I highly recommend it, especially if you go to Kyushu, where they have so many distilleries over there. And yeah, and there's so many different kinds of shochu. You know, you could shochu adventure. You could just go to one bar every night for like a week and have a different shochu all night long. It's crazy. Um, Here you go. This one right here is one of my favorites. It's an Imo Shochu. And the thing is, I drink a lot of Imo Shochu recently. And so the thing is, like, I go through favorites every couple of weeks. But right now, this one is definitely mine. And this is the Gyokuro, the Gyokuro. Here we go. Right here. Take a screenshot. It's kind of got this classic label to it. You know, at first I thought the label was kind of gaudy. I was like, I don't know about this, but it's growing on me. It's growing on me. The more I drink it, the more I like it. That should be the tagline. Oh my goodness. And yeah, so that right there was my shochu review. I reviewed three bottles of shochu, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. Yeah, my mouth is very happy, so is my soul. And yeah, I highly recommend that you guys start drinking shochu. Shochu is amazing. It is absolutely amazing, and it's so underrated. So underrated. Oh my gosh, it's great. Wait, which one is this? Ah, brown sugar. That's right. Mmm. So thank you very much. And yeah, I'm definitely going to be doing more shochu reviews here on Got Faded Japan because I really want the world to start drinking shochu. I want shochu to get a better rep. I want it to become more popular, and I want shochu to really, really expand globally just because it is such a good drink. And one thing you really want to be careful of regarding shochu, it just came to my mind. Now, I said shochu is really cheap. It's affordable. It's extremely affordable, right? But the problem with cheap spirits is that when you see a spirit or whatever, when you see any kind of a drink and it's too cheap, be very, very cautious. Because if you see like a bottle of whiskey that's super cheap, well, I'll tell you what, it's not going to be good. If you see a bottle of tequila that's super cheap, I tell you what, it's not going to be good. In fact, it's going to be horrible. And then it's going to give you the worst hangover. When I first started smoking cigars, I smoked cheap cigars and I didn't like them. I was like, God, cigars, God, I thought this would be so much better than this, you know? And then I upgraded to mildly more expensive cigars. And then I was like, oh, there's a big difference. Okay. Same thing with shochu, same thing with whiskey or anything, you know? The cheaper you go, the more problems you're going to have. So when you go to it, when you go, actually, I recommend this. Go to a bar and just ask them for a shochu list and then ask them what the recommendation is. Or go to a liquor store, and I don't mean convenience store, go to a liquor store here in Japan and then ask them, be like, hey, listen, I don't want cheap shochu. I want to get some really good shochu, and I really want to get a bottle of A, B, or C, or I just want to get a bottle of A, Imo Shochu. What do you recommend? And all you got to say for a recommendation, like what's your recommendation? Osusume. Osusume. You just say that, and they're like, oh, okay, well, I like this, and this one's very popular. And the one thing about people that work at liquor stores, they love to talk about liquor. They know everything about liquor, and they love to talk about like the bottle and the history of the company and this, that, and the other thing. And it's to the point where you're just like, come on, sir, I just want to go home and drink this. Please just let me go home. I feel like I'm being kidnapped and educated. I feel like I'm back in like sixth grade. And I got Charlie Brown's teacher. No, I'm joking. But yeah. Definitely ask them about it. Say osusume, and you're good to go. Okay, all right. So I'm checking out the chat this time. It's kind of weird. Okay, do they come in flavors? They have so many different flavors, but they don't have flavors like apple or peanut butter. So I'm answering Steven's question. So yeah. But they have hundreds of different flavors. There are so many different kinds of shochu. So, mm. Yeah, so for all you guys that's listening to Got Fitted Japan, listening to the podcast, yeah, I'm actually streaming this live on YouTube, and yeah, so I'm getting some questions and stuff in the chat feed. So if I go off topic, or if I start rambling about something that's actually doesn't really make sense to you at the time, I apologize. I'm all over the map. I need a secretary. Saito-san, where are you? Okay. All right, fantastic. All right. So let's see. That's everything about the shochu that I have, my shochu review. I really hope that you guys enjoyed the shochu review. And what we're going to do is we're going to take a break, and then we're going to move on with the news. Okay, so I've got a pretty good buzz on, and I'm ready to read Japan's news. So, okay, so for all you faders that are listening to Got Faded Japan, sit back, relax, enjoy our sponsors. And for all you guys that's watching the stream, I ain't going nowhere. All right, see you in a minute. Peace.
Yo, what's up, faders? Got Faded Japan has got a new sponsor. Our new sponsor is Gamuso Bar, located in Asagaya, Tokyo. If you're kicking it in Tokyo and you want to get your groove on, get your fade on, you better get your ass down to Gamuso. Gamuso is located in Asagaya. It's about 11 minutes from Shinjuku Station on the Chuo line. Gamuso has weekly bands, weekly performances. And hell, if you got your own event and you want to hold it at Gamuso, we'd love to host you. So contact Gamuso at www.gamuso.com. That's www.gamuso.com. That's right, Gamuso has not only beers in the bottle, but beers on tap. We've got every drink you want, so come on down to Gamuso. Gamuso, and if I'm working, tip me.
Have your attention, please. Attention.
Hey, yo, what's up, Vaders? Johnny here. You know I love booze and news, but I also love art. So come on down to thespiltink.com and check my art out. I've got tons of stuff there for you to check out. And I've got paintings, I got prints, I got videos. And I tell you what, if you like a painting, I could probably sell it to you. And I tell you what, if I can't sell you that painting, I will definitely sell you a print. I've got prints of all my work. Prints are about 2,000 N each, about $20, but if you buy two, you get the third one for free. So come on down to thespiltink.com. Yo, and on top of that, I'm looking for commissioned work. So if there's something that you want me to do, I can make it for you. Just check out my stuff and see if you like my style. And if you like my style, I can definitely paint you anything on canvas, paper, whatever. I've done it all. So come on down to thespiltink.com. That is THESPILTINK.com. Thespiltink.com. Proper. Mitsuya Liquors. Yo, what's up, faders? If you're in Asia, if you're in Japan, if you're in Tokyo, if you're in Asagaya, you better get down to Mitsuya Liquors. That's right, for the most affordable prices in Japan, you can get over 300 different kinds of beer. That's right, over 300 different kinds of beer. And of course, they got all the shochu you need, all the sake you need, and of course, they got wine from California to Italy to France to New Zealand. They got it all. When I say they got it all, they really, seriously got it all. There's no joke about that. So get down to Mitsuya Liquors. And if you go in there and you say, Got Faded Japan, you will be more than welcome to go into their back room and drink those beers that you just purchased. That's right, Got Faded Japan at Mitsuya Liquors. And 3 times a week, they have a sushi chef there. So get your sushi on, get your drink on, get your fade on, and come on down to Mitsuya Liquors, located comfortably in Asagaya, about 5-minute walk from the station.
In Tokyo and craving soul food? We've got just the place for you. Soul Food House in Azabu Juban. Check out what we do at soulfoodhouse.com. Come by and taste the love. We look forward to feeding you.
Are you in Harajuku with some out-of-town friends or your family or significant others?
Yeah!
Do you want to chill and drink beer and eat sandwiches while your friends overpay for glitter unicorn socks?
Yeah!
And the flavor's gonna make you complete at Harry's Sandwich Company.
So come on down to Harry's Sandwich Company in the heart of Harajuku, right off Takeshita Street. See you there!
All right, faders, and we are back. Okay, I hope you guys enjoyed our sponsors. Thank you very much for watching that and listening to that. And again, thank you so much for enjoying our shochu review. Wow, that was some amazing times. I'm gonna tell you what I was talking about during the break. I love the two bottles, the Mugi and the brown sugar. Absolutely fantastic. But I'm an emo guy. I'm an emo guy. I'm emotional. I have issues, okay? Oh, no. Definitely emo is the way to go. Oh, gosh. For me anyway. But to each their own. Live your own happy life. Okay. As promised, faders, we're going to move forward with the news. I have some spectacular news for you guys. And this news is from this week. La-di-da-di, we likes to potty. Okay, let's see here. Let me just make this a little bit bigger. Now I have had a few glasses of shochu. So, yeah, let's just hope that I can get through this. Okay. Okay, article number 1. Oof, too much shochu. Maybe not enough shochu. Here we go. Women conned out of 80 million yen in SNS romance scam. Oh my God. Oh, faders, this has been going on all over the world. All over the world. What was it? About 2 weeks ago in America, one girl, she gave like all her money away to some guy that she thought was Brad Pitt. I think she also like divorced her husband or something. Yeah, so this is going on. If Brad Pitt sends you an email saying divorce your wife or husband and come live with me and give me money, by the way, it's not Brad Pitt. I guarantee. Brad Pitt is not contacting you. All right. Oh my gosh. And finding love on the internet, people still do that? Gosh. Looking for love in all the wrong places. Okay, a woman in Shirakawa City, Fukushima Prefecture, was defrauded of 18 million yen after believing a false online message from a man claiming to be a celebrity, aka Brad Pitt. Hello, Brad. Oh my goodness. The Brad Pitt scam. According to police, the woman who is in her 50s received a message last November via SNS app from a man who made her feel romantically involved. Senkai Shimbun reported. After a few messages were exchanged, the quote-unquote celebrity, Brad Pitt, reportedly said, quote, I am heavily behind in my tax payments and my bank account has been frozen. Please lend me 18 million yen. I'll pay you back double the money I borrow. End quote. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I think Brad Pitt would never ask anybody for money. He seems like a good guy. I'm just joking. It's not Brad. Well, we don't know. It's a celebrity. It could be Brad Pitt. The woman believed the story and sent the 18 million yen to the scam. It's like over $100,000. My God. Who's got $100,000 today? Jeez. Okay. Maybe it's Bitcoin money. Who knows? Once again, the woman believed this story and sent the 18 million yen to the scammer using cash and electronic money. She contacted police after there was no further contact from Brad Pitt. Oh, could you imagine this poor lady, this poor naive lady? She gave all her money to quote unquote Brad Pitt, and then she's like, "All right, let's meet. I'll fly to Hollywood. I got just enough money." And then she receives no further contact from this guy. And then she goes to the police box, and she talks to a police officer, and she's like, yeah, hey cops, I got a big problem. Super big problem. There's a bad guy out there, very bad guy. And the cops are like, what, a murderer? Is it the Joker? She's like, no, worse, it's Brad Pitt. He took all my money. Oh my gosh. Could you imagine being the beat cop taking this down? He's like, so he was wearing a suit and he had really good hair. Good smile too, huh? Good smile too. Yes, yes, yes. All right, good, good. 6'8". Ooh, 6'8". Well, a tall guy, yeah, muscular. Yeah, yeah. Fight Club, really? Isn't there rules? Oh my God. All right. So moving forward, next story. Next story. Okay. Let's see. Let's find a better story than that. Ah, okay. 17-year-old boy referred to prosecutors for impersonating police officers. Now, I chose this story because this story, once again, just happened in the United States. In the United States, two TikTokers went into a campus and they pretended to be ICE, which is like it's kind of like a branch of the police department or the government where they find illegals and then they put them in prison for a minute and then they deport them, right? So I guess they're running around their campus pretending to be this, trying to find, I guess, illegals in their campus. Okay, so this is very similar. Wow, gosh, everything's happening all over the world these days. It's crazy. Are we living in the Twilight Zone? I don't know, but maybe. Okay, a 17-year-old boy living in Kyoto has been referred to prosecutors for posing as a police officer by showing a fake police badge in a park in the same city. No, and in the city. Shochu, oh my goodness. Okay. Reading the news after a shochu review. Okay, fasten your seatbelts, faders. It's going to be one heck of a ride. The incident occurred at around 9:25 p.m. on September 7th last year at a park in Shimogyo, Ward TV Asahi reported Sunday. The boy showed the police badge to a group of 4 minors, both male and female, and asked for their names and addresses. Probably mostly for the girls. I'm going to need your guys' names and you girls' phone numbers. And where do you live, by the way? Oh my God, what a perv. Oh my gosh. Okay, all right. So let's see here. In addition to the fake police badge with his own photo attached, a baton, notebook, handcuffs, and an air gun were confiscated from the boy's home. Wow, they did a raid. Police quoted the boy who attended a vocational school as saying, quote, I admire how cool police officers were. I wanted to question people as if I were a real detective, end quote. Oh my gosh. And that's the end of this story. But I think, the kid's like 17 years old. All he had to do is just wait 1 year and then he could go to police school. All he needed was just 1 year. I don't know, dressing like Miami Vice and running around a park being like, what is your name? Give me your phone number. I got a badge and an air gun. Oh my God, this is so ridiculous. And pretty much I think this probably may have stopped. Well, he's a minor. And in Japan, if you're a minor and you get in trouble, once you once you turn into an adult, or once you become an adult at the age of 20, pretty much I think if you before all your crimes were washed away from your slate, so you started over. But I think they kind of changed that, where if you did something super heinous, it will linger on your record. So, but I think for something like this, I think he will be okay when he's 20. So he could go to police school, I guess, and then become a cop and running around in the real world and actually really ask people for their phone numbers. Oh my goodness. When I was 17, I had a lot of free time, but I never did anything this dumb. Oh God. Could you imagine if he went to jail for this? I don't think he would. I don't think he would go to jail for this. But gosh, that what a dumb thing. The kids in America, actually, the kids in America that faked that they're ICE agents. Yeah, they're facing up to 10 years in prison. Could you imagine that? And out of, I think there's three guys. I think out of all three of them, the oldest one is 22 years old. Could you imagine that? 22 years old and going to prison for something that stupid? Oh my God. I mean, what do you tell your cellmate? Your cellmate may be like a gang leader that murdered like 100 people. And he's like, what are you in for? And the guy, little kid's like, or not little kid, the 20-year-old kid's like, well, I really liked, the police and I really wanted to be a police officer. So I impersonated a police officer and ISIS. Are you Mexican? Oh my God, that kid is dead in prison. Oh my God. Sayonara, kiddo. Kiss your future goodbye. But in Japan, I think he's just gonna get a warning or something. That was America. That was America, by the way. Oh boy, Shochu. Okay, here we go. Next story is a little Grand Theft Auto action. Man arrested for stealing ambulance called to his home. The story takes place in Saitama. Police in Kuki, Saitama Prefecture have arrested a 46-year-old man on suspicion of stealing an ambulance. According to police, Hiroshi Hirata of unknown occupation called 119, aka 911, at around 6:50 p.m. on Monday, complaining of a tummy ache. Kyoto News reported that 3 paramedics treated Hirata, who was drunk at the time. I wonder why his stomach was hurting. Maybe he was drinking too cheap of shochu, which I warned you guys not to do, and determined that he did not need to go to the hospital. Okay, all right. So, yeah, listen, I'm going to be honest. If you guys have been drinking or if you guys are wasted at all, whatever you do, do not pull out your phone. Do not pull out your phone. See, notice I've been drinking and my phone is over here. It's over here. Am I touching my phone? No. Am I going to pick my phone up and call somebody? No. Am I going to take photos? Maybe. Well, I am right now, but I'm not going to contact anyone. Now, if I was outside, if I was like at a bar, nightclub, izakaya, whatever, restaurant, and if I had like as much shochu as I have reviewed, I would definitely not take my phone out of my pocket. In fact, if I had my phone on the counter and I had a couple of shochus or beers, just to be safe, I would say, hey, Johnny, put that phone back in your pocket because you don't want to lose it. And I would put that phone in my pocket and then I would leave it there and I would not pick it up unless it was an emergency. If I needed like a taxi or an Uber or something like that, I might. But I would not be calling any of my friends or ex-girlfriends or anything like that. And you think that's funny, but the thing is though, 9 times out of 10 dudes, especially at what time was it? 6:50. Oh, geez, that's kind of early to be that wasted. But 9 times out of 10, dudes that are like, kind of wasted and it's like 11 o'clock at night, who do they call? Ex-girlfriends. And the next day when they wake up, they're like, oh my God, oh, I got the worst hangover ever. Oh God, geez. So what did I do last night? They check their phone and they're like, oh my God, what do I do? There's like 5 of their ex-girlfriends or, it's just bad. Or like messages like, oh, I loved you, I miss you. Never, ever take on your phone. Seriously. Coming from a guy that's an experienced drinker, The phone stays in the pocket, hands down on the bar. Okay, moving forward, police said that Hirata became enraged and threatened the paramedics with a knife. Oh my God, I've got a tummy ache. Oh my God, you're going to have a legal ache in about 5 minutes. He went outside and stole their ambulance, just like the video game Grand Theft Auto. Police found the ambulance and Hirata at a parking lot at a drugstore about 100 meters away and arrested him on the spot. So do you think, Faders, that he drove to a drugstore to buy either what? Antacid, aspirin, or more booze? I bet you 100 yen he went there to buy more booze. He just needed to get there quickly, so he needed an ambulance because it had the lights and the siren. Oh my goodness. Oh my God, that's right. He was driving and he was drunk. So wait, okay, all right, let's think about this. How many charges can this guy get? He's got driving under the influence, stealing an ambulance, threatening paramedics with 3 paramedics with a knife, possibly faking an illness, which is also bad. That's 4 major crimes. Oh my goodness. I don't know what the prosecutors are going to do. Will they throw the book at him? Who knows? Okay, Hirata was quoted by police as saying, quote, "I thought I would go to the hospital myself," end quote. Well, he should have drove himself to the prison because that's where this guy's going to go. Oh my gosh. Jeez Louise. Okay, moving forward. Okay, next story. Okay, the tourists in Japan are out of control. I'm going to be honest. Not all of them, of course, but some of them are just, whoop, man, Google tourists gone bad in Japan. There should be a documentary about tourists doing crazy things in Japan, or yeah, documentary or something. There's tons of videos on YouTube, but here we go. Tourists arrested in Japan for striking convenience store clerk over 3 yen bag altercation. Now, I'm going to be honest, 3 yen in Japan compared to whatever currency, if you're American, it's like minus 5 cents. In euros, it's like minus 8 euros. Like it's 3 yen is less than nothing when it comes to like other currencies. So tourists arrested in Japan for striking convenience store clerk over 3 yen bag alteration. So if he stole the bag, this is ridiculous. Or I'm assuming he took the bag and maybe he tried to kill the clerk or something. You tried to suffocate him. Maybe he's robbing the place. I don't know. Tourists have been doing crazy stuff. Go to Shibuya any day of the week. Shibuya, Shinjuku, Golden Gai, Ikebukuro, Nakameguro, Meguro. Go anywhere and you'll see tourists doing crazy. Go to any shrine, Meiji, Jingu, Harajuku. You see tourists, especially the later in the night and the more drunk they are, the more crazy they get, you know? And yeah, last year, speaking of tourists and how many tourists are coming here, on a side note, and I know I'm digressing, but I'm kind of drunk because I did a shochu review, of course. So last year we had an estimated 32 million tourists that came to Japan. This year they're expecting over 40 million tourists to come to Japan. No, come through Tokyo airports. 40 million people that are non-Japanese are gonna come through Tokyo airport. 40 million. Which is 3 times the population of Tokyo. There's only 13 million people in Tokyo. That's insane. Now I know in France it's like 60 million or something, right? But France is like surrounded by like countries, right? But Japan is like a little island, you know? So for 40 million people to fly here, that's just insane. Anyway, yeah, the tourists are out of their minds at this point. They're out of their minds. All right. But moving forward, at around 1:40 a.m. on January 27th, a convenience store clerk in the city of Sapporo's Kito ward noticed that a customer using a self-checkout register had rung up his purchase, paid for them, and then taken a plastic bag from a rack next to the terminal. However, the bags aren't free. Duh! The customer wanted to use them and have them included in the total number they're taking during the self-checkout procedure, with each bag costing 3 yen. Okay, I get it. It's a misunderstanding. So actually, it is kind of stupid how they have it at some of the convenience stores and liquor stores. They have the checkout and then they have the bags right next to you. So all you got to do is just pull the bag and put your stuff in it. But if you don't know that you have to pay for it, it's kind of confusing. So right now I'm on the tourist side. He comes in there, he pays for his stuff, puts his stuff in a plastic bag, and he walks out the door. It's just a misunderstanding. It happens. It's like what, 1:40 in the morning. The guy's kind of, maybe he's like 10 beers deep or something. He's on vacation, whatever. Okay. It's unclear whether the customer later identified, wait, it's unclear whether the customer, quote, no, not quote, comma, later identified as a UK tourist, comma, I'm not wearing my glasses. I'm sorry, blah, 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 blah. Oh, wait, what was this? That's kind of weird. All right, wait. Let me just reread this. It's unclear whether the customer later identified as a UK tourist I intentionally avoided paying for the bag or whether he was unaware they were free to use. Jesus Christ. All right, I got to put the shochu down. Oh my God. Okay. It's been so long since I've gotten faded and done Got Faded Japan that I'm actually having issues. Okay, one more time. Deep breath. Come on, Johnny. You can do it. It's unclear whether the customer later identified as a UK tourist internationally avoided paying for the bags or whether he was unaware that they weren't free to use. Either way, though the customers are supposed to pay for them. So a 48-year-old clerk who is working a shift at the store followed the customer out to the street, called him out, and to address the situation. At some point into the interaction, the clerk said that the other man struck him, opening a cut near his left eye. Oh no. Okay, so now I'm definitely on the clerk side, 110% on the clerk side, not on the customer side at all. The British man then, he's from England, he's British. Okay, UK could mean anything, Welsh, Scottish, Irish. But no, the British man then left the scene, but the clerk contacted police who were able to locate the man and place him under arrest on suspicion of assault. Well, he's got assault and he's got robbery. Well, not robbery. I guess it would just be theft because he stole a plastic bag from the convenience store. But yes. I tell you what, faders. When you come to Japan, do not cause any trouble. Don't do anything bad whatsoever. If somebody tells you got to pay for a bag, even though in your country maybe you don't, just pay for the bag. It's 3 yen. It's negative your money. It's basically like you're making money paying for this. Okay, so just get the plastic bag. It's all good because this guy is screwed. It doesn't matter that you're a tourist, right? The thing is, you've got assault. They might throw theft at you. They've got leaving the scene of a crime. I mean, they can throw the book at this guy. This guy can get years for this, right? In Japan, you do not assault anybody who's working at their job, right? You do not assault people who are working at any job. If you assault somebody that's on the street, like let's say you get in an altercation with somebody and you guys get in a fight, that's one thing. That's bad. That is really, 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 really bad. But if you get in a fight with somebody who's working at their job, who's in the right, dude, that's on a whole different level of bad. So yeah, listen, if somebody is yelling at you for something and you don't understand what they're saying, because maybe it's in Japanese or something like that, you just put the guard down, take a deep breath, relax, try to communicate with them as best as you can if you don't speak the language, and try to work it out. Because the thing is, I'm sure this British dude was like, he was maybe drunk and maybe he didn't know he had to pay for the bag or something. And when the Japanese dude came out, maybe he was a little too aggressive and got in the guy's face or something or whatever. And the thing is, you just can't let things escalate. Just take a deep breath, try to listen, try to kind of like come to terms. And if the guy's like, you owe me 3 yen, think about it. Think, be like, I owe you 3 yen for this plastic bag. Actually, I'm making money in this transaction. Okay, sure, no problem. Let me give you the 3 yen. Think logically, not emotionally. All right. Wow, faders. Yeah. Okay. So since I'm actually this kind of buzzed, I don't think it's wise to move forward with the news. I'm going to completely ruin my reputation. Come on. Hey, Cafe Japan. Ho. But yeah, I think it's time that we say sayonara. Faders, I want to say thank you very much for tuning into this very special episode of Got Faded Japan. Once again, we've got 3 beautiful bottles of shochu that I want to point out. Okay. Point out that I want to review for you guys. Let me just put this up to the camera right here. La-di-da-di, we likes to potty. Okay, here we go. We've got this one right here. This is our Imo Shochu. This is Gyokuro, and this is from Kagoshima. Very beautiful. Next over here, we've got the lovely Mugi Shochu called MugiKon. Right here, this stuff is absolutely spectacular. Can I put this on the... No, that's bad. I've got this one right here. This one is from Fukuoka. And then over here, our last one is our brown sugar. Our brown sugar shochu right here. So I've got these right here. Okay, so this brown sugar one, which is called Kokuto, it is called Asahi. Once again, it has nothing to do with the Asahi Company. It's just called Asahi. What's up right here? Whoa, hey. Yeah, take a shot of this, okay? So you can get all three of them. Ah, hey. Ah, okay, that's awesome. Great screenshot for you guys. Okay, I highly recommend that when you come to Japan, you get all three bottles because once again, the price of these bottles altogether was under 30 bucks. I don't know what I said earlier. I'm kind of drunk, but it was like under 4,000 yen. 4,000 yen to American dollars is like, it's like $30. Yeah, it's basically $30. It's like 10 bucks a bottle, which is just mind blowing. It's mind blowing how cheap these are. Yeah, and please enjoy shochu. Sake, aka Nihonshu, or vice versa, Nihonshu, aka sake. Everybody comes to Japan and they buy many bottles of that stuff, and that's fantastic. I love Nihonshu. Nihonshu is great. I absolutely adore Nihonshu. But get some Nihonshu, enjoy it, but also move forward and get some shochu. Shochu is spectacular. I can't recommend shochu enough. And cost efficient. Very alcohol effective. Like I said before, it's either anywhere from 20 to 35% or ABI. Oh gosh, ABI. All right, time for me to get some food. All right, on that note, Faders, thank you very much for tuning in to this very special episode. Definitely follow us all over SNS. We're on Instagram, Facebook, we're on X. We're not on TikTok. TikTok, you can go suck my toe. And but we're everywhere else. And yes, definitely on Patreon. We'll have everything on Patreon. Patreon has everything. Patreon! And we'll see you soon, Faders. Thank you. Mwah. Peace.
My little brother, a goddamn shit-sucking vampire. Will you wait till Mom finds out, buddy?
I've got a government job to abuse and a lonely wife to fuck. As far back as I can remember, I always wanted to be a gangster.
God, the pressure! I can't take it! I can't take it! I can't stand to it!
You sure excuse me?
We're going freaking! We came, we saw, we kicked his ass!
Your move, creep.
Oh, man. I will never forgive your ass for this shit. This is some fucked up repugnant shit.
Suicide, it's a suicide.
Ah, fuck it, dude. Let's go bold.